Hello everyone. After covering some core concepts of Siege, I wanted to start applying those ideas to real site setups and attacks. In this video, we're going to look at how to defend games and bunks on Fortress. The way this site plays is a horizontal hold, meaning we're going to extend our defense outward on the same floor as the objective. We want to control space and force attackers to burn time and utility before they reach the site. The reason for this is because the site is pretty easy for attackers to pressure from multiple areas. If you sit in site and wait, you will get overwhelmed. Starting with the overhead, the goal of this setup is not to hold everything, but layer the defense. In a full setup, you're going to have three parts to it: a hold on Old Tower side, a roam on the bedroom side of the map, and a player anchoring in sight to support these players out of sight. The idea is that the attackers are forced to deal with multiple layers before they can access site and commit to an execute, and by the time they do, they're already low on time and utility. If we start in Old Tower, this side of the map has plenty of lines of sight that make it difficult for the defenders to play in sight, especially if the attackers are coming from multiple directions. You can open two walls and contest the entire site and have plenty of cover to get the diffuser down. So, the purpose of this hold is to contest attackers from coming from Old Tower and slow down the pressure from that side of the map. To do this, you want to play around the top of the stairs and by vending, creating a crossfire for anyone who drops the tower or comes up the stairs. Our players will need some rotates to get back into sight too, so a rotate on the single game wall and another on the double wall leading to vending will allow them to rotate back into sight safely if needed. The important part here is not the exact setup, but what holding this position does. You're forcing the attackers to spend time and utility to get this area of the map. Communication is important here, since you're creating a crossfire, and if one person falls back into sight, both players need to. To help us out as well, you would like to reinforce the left game's wall to vending, the left game's wall to bunks, and giving the stairs player some utility, like a shield or maybe some barbed wire. Strong operators to play here are any that can slow down attackers with their utility. Smoke, Mute, Jaeger, Wamai, Azami, Aruni, Thorn, and Clash, just to name a few. The second leg of the defense is on the opposite side of the map. On this side, attackers can gain control of bathroom, briefing, and dorms hall, creating lines of sight that also make it difficult for defenders to play inside. Since we are already holding the Old Tower side of the map, and this area is so large, we can't put too many resources into a small area. The idea is a roaming anchor. You want to start in the office and horse area and delay the attackers from gaining map control over here. Just shoot some drones, eat some flashes, and fall back towards sight. To help us out, we're going to make lines of sight from horse through office, reinforce the two single bathroom walls, and reinforce the left two briefing walls into bathroom and making a rotate on the right side of it, allowing our roamers to fall back. Strong operators here would be trap operators that can gather intel and slow down attackers. Thorn, Aruni, Tuberau with beepers, and Legion. Ella is also a good pick here. While all of that is happening, you still need players in sight supporting the players outside of sight. Attackers can initiate an attack into bunks from Shisha and Dorms Hall, creating uncomfortable lines of sight for our Old Tower players and briefing anchors. To help in sight, you want to reinforce the right dorms wall into Shisha and create feed holes on the left side. This will contest anyone trying to jump in the vending window, allowing the vending player to worry about the crossfire into Old Tower. You also want to make a vault rotate on the right wall from games to bunks, as well as a rotate or two from briefing to bunks. Pretty much anyone with an ACOG is good here. You can have an Azami anchor here, a Rooney, Cade, Tubero, or even a castle if your site setup needs that. So now, whatever the attackers decide to do, a direct attack or a clear attack, they have something they have to deal with. The system of this defense is to stall the attackers from getting to site and getting an execute. Now, let's jump to gameplay and see how this actually plays out. Okay, your first player in this setup is going to play here on Old Tower Stairs, contesting the drop and the stairs right here. When needed, you can fall back into sight, reinforce off this wall, and be safe in the objective. Your second player plays here in vending, contesting the Old Tower drop with your first player over there. They want to hold a crossfire, so anyone coming up the stairs or dropping the tower has to deal with two people shooting from them. When your player at top of the stairs falls back into sight, you have to do the same thing, falling back into sight. Reinforce yourself in. We give the attackers a harder time getting this map control. Your third player is going to play here in horse, contesting commander room and all the way over there into the new tower renovation area. Down this hallway, and really the idea is just slowing down the attackers, shooting drones, eating flashbangs, and falling back into sight this way. Once you come through here, through bathroom, and into briefing, you want to reinforce this wall off if you have any left, and play in briefing or deep dorms. Your fourth player can play inside a bedroom, helping contest the new tower, the hallway, top white stairs, and anything the museum player may need help with. When it's time to fall back after shooting some drones, you can come down the hallway here, go through the bathroom rotate, or down the hall into briefing. And again, reinforce this wall if you have any left. Your fifth player has a couple different spots they can play. They can either play here deep in dorms, which is a pretty safe spot, contesting the hallway or helping with the vending run-in, or they can play in briefing, helping their roamers on this side of the map fall back to sight if needed, contesting these windows, the entire hallway, or even making lines of sight from here all the way to the door in there. Similar to this door, looking that way. So, with the site setup in mind, here is a site setup you can do with Smoke, Azami, Aruni, Thorn, and Tubarao. As Smoke, you want to make the rotates from games to Old Tower and vending, make a vault rotate on the right wall from games to bunks, make feed holes on the right wall from bunks to Shisha, make a rotate from briefing to bunks, and place a shield on top of the stairs. You want to play the Old Tower stairs with your shield, using smokes to slow down the attackers. You're going to hold a crossfire with Azami and rotate back into sight, reinforcing the wall, once the attackers have cleared the shield and are putting a lot of pressure on you. As Azami, you want to reinforce the left game's wall to vending, reinforce the left game's wall to bunks, reinforce the right bunk's wall into Shisha, place barbed wire on Old Tower stairs and your other barbed wire on the bunk's door to bunk's hall, place a Kiba on the foosball table, on the wall in vending, and on a chair in briefing, depending on where the attackers push. You want to play in vending with Smoke, holding a crossfire into Old Tower. If someone pushes Smoke, you can shoot him. You can also rotate back into sight to contest bunk's hall. If you use impacts instead of barbed wire, you can impact trick the Shisha wall, rotate back into sight when you need to, reinforce the wall, and you always want to do it with your Smoke. Next is Aruni. You want to place Aruni gates on the bunk's door to bunk's hall, place an Aruni gate on the briefing door to the briefing hallway, and place a Aruni gate on the bedroom hallway to mezzanine door. Place both your barbed wire in the hallway. Make feed holes on bedroom wall to renovation, make head holes on office to hallway walls, make head holes on horse to office walls, and punch the floor above lobby to see down into the lobby. You want to play as an anchor in briefing and bunks, depending on where the attackers are pushing. You want to contest the vending window to help Azami. You want to play in briefing mostly, but you can play really anywhere as long as you're supporting your other defenders. Your next defender is Thorn. You want to place a Razor Bloom on main stairs, another one on briefing hall window, another one on renovation drop. The last one can either go on the lobby stairs, the vending window, or just hold it until you need it. You want to play in the bedroom or the office, shooting attackers in renovation and helping contest the lobby with floor holes, the lobby stairs. You want to hold crossfires from bedroom with your Tubarao, and you want to fall back to briefing after attackers burn time and utility. Your last defender is Tubarao. You want to reinforce the two left briefing walls to bathroom, reinforce both single bathroom walls, place proxy alarms on lobby stairs walk up, and a proxy alarm on the dorm hall window jump in. You want to play horse, delaying attackers, shooting drones, and falling back. You can contest bunk's hall if needed if they're going for an Old Tower take, depending on the attack. Fall back to briefing is needed with your Thorn and reinforce the wall. You also want to use your Tubarao canisters to slow down the attackers. Any wall they breach, slow them down. This setup can definitely be changed around, and there are some flaws that good attackers can take advantage of. For example, Smoke has nothing defending its position from nades, so an attacker could easily throw one frag grenade and get rid of his shield a minute into the round. You can switch things up if you'd like, opting for maybe a Jaeger or Womai instead of Tubarao, but it's whatever works for you. I do find that in my ranked games, attackers tend to focus heavily on the Old Tower side and maybe have a lurker or two on the bedroom side. Sometimes the attackers will see the Smoke Azami setup and try to challenge it, wasting time, especially since players in ranked are not usually familiar with site setup, or they just rotate to the other side of the map. Speaking of ranked, I know many players do not have a 5-stack to always be playing with, so here are some ideas and things you can incorporate in your ranked games. In a 3-stack, having 2 players hold the Old Tower with either an anchor or roamer will be strong. In a 2-stack, holding Old Tower will allow your teammates to anchor and roam. In solo queue, the strongest thing you can probably do is roam bedroom side. Take the ideas from the full setup and apply them as much as you can to your stack. Really, you want to focus on delaying one side and falling back safely. I hope this breakdown helped you understand the idea of defending this site. If there are any sites you want to see specifically, please let me know. My goal is to break down each site's attacking strategies and defensive setups. If you'd also like to see the in-game footage of defenders setting up their portion of the site, please let me know. Thank you for your time.